9. We're doing it live at noon and 9. So we're here again at Black Fact Central. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Bilal. For those of you who do not know, many Africans that came here before and after slavery were Muslims. And that's a little known fact. It's not always known, but goes along with our proverb today. This has to do with our proverb today. If you're a black man, then you're an African. If you're a black man, then you're an African. So all of this is going along on this general theme about names. We had talked about names previously. And so we're still continuing on that track. If you're a black man, then you're an African. Since we've been here, we've been called many things. We've been called nigga. We've been called colored folks. We've been called colored people. We've been called black. We've been called African American. We've been called Afro American. We've been called Bilalian. We've been called Nuwabian. We've been called a number of different things. Negro. Oh, I can't forget Negro. That was a big one right there. And and then just African, or African with a K. So the names go on and on and on. But all throughout, there's one thing that we all have in common. All those people are still black. That's another one. Okay. All those people are still black. Now, today, I know a lot of people are running around talking about we are people of color. And to all those people, I just have one question. What color are we talking about? Because anybody who is not a person of color, by definition, would have to be invisible, like Ralph Ellison Invisible, the Invisible Man. Okay? Now, I don't know anybody around here that is invisible. I don't know no invisible race of people that you can't see, except if you're talking about spirits, which is another discussion. So therefore, white folks got color, red people got color, yellow people got color, black folks got color. We all got color. All God's children got color. It's just a matter of what color are you. Now, why that makes such a big difference, I don't know. It doesn't seem to make a big difference when it comes to your dog. You know, you have a black dog, white dog, spotted dog. You got an Appaloosa horse with spots on it. You got spotted cows. You got a black bull. They don't seem to have issues because of their color. They're already a bull. I mean, whatever. So let's cut the crap. Let's cut through the bull. Let's get to the real and talk about the deal. Today we're going to start out talking about Queen Elizabeth of England. And we're coming out of our book here, Little Known Facts in Pan-African History. Queen Elizabeth I of England was so much in love with Francis, Duke of Alencon, I believe that's how you say it, a Negro, that when told by her ministers she could not marry him, she wept. The reason was religion. He was Catholic. She was Protestant. The Duke, who is described as black with woolly hair, was the son of Catherine de' Medici, Queen of France. He was the son of the Queen of France. Now, if you don't know about the Medici family, the Medici family, I believe, is found in like Vienna, Venice, Italy. They're over around in that area somewhere. I don't think they're in Spain. They're over in Italy, because I looked them up and I found one of the houses of the Medicis where you can actually go and see the emblem of the Medici family, which is straight up nigga. I don't have no other way to describe that, okay? He's a black guy. There's just no other way about it. By the way, the word nigga does means black. It's a reference back to the word Negro. Negro, nigga, basically the same word. They're being used a little differently. They have a different feeling when you say them. But when I say Negro please, or I say nigga please, that still means the very same thing. So that was our little introduction here. Just wanted to deal with this whole thing about who we are. And at different times, we've been known by different names. Moor, I forgot about Moor. Let me not forget about Moor, the Moors. So today, we're gonna I'm gonna read a little bit to you from the Bilali document. Now, this is a document because at one time during the 70s, probably the late 70s, Elijah Muhammad's son Wallace, who now goes by the name Warith Dean Muhammad, he began to call us Bilalians after Bilal, who was an assistant of the Prophet Mohammed, and he was black. He was known to be black, so that was the closest person to the Prophet that anybody knew of or could really speak of, and so we know him to be Bilal, and therefore the Nation of Islam under Wallace D. Muhammad became Bilalians. That became our new name was Bilalians. So this one is about the Bilali document. Bilali Mohamet, or Ben Ali Mohammed, was a Muslim slave on the Sapelo Island plantation of Thomas Spalding early in the 19th century. According to accounts in the 1930s by Sapelo Island residents claiming descent from Bilali, he and his family followed the way of Islam, while other slaves retained elements of indigenous African religions or were taking up Christianity. Bilali appears to have been a man worth remembering. He was mentioned in various 19th century writings, and oral recollections have survived for more than a century. One descendant, a great-granddaughter, recalled hearing it said that Bilali had been brought to Sapelo Island from Nassau in the Bahamas, and that of numerous daughters, a number had African or Muslim names, including Yaruba or Nairuba or Yaruba, there's different spellings, Medina, Fatima, and Bintu. He spoke French, according to at least one recollection, suggesting that before going to Nassau, he had lived on a plantation in one of the French West Indian colonies. In various personal recollections, he was described as kneeling to pray at sunup and sundown, prostrating himself 3 times to the east, and as eating food that was prepared differently from that of the other slaves. One writer described him as a very old man who was head of a tribe and who wore a cap resembling a fez. Now, they go on to continue talking about him, and they had a document that he had written as a slave. It was called the, what do they call it? Well, they said that the Georgia State Library received a 13-page document written in Arabic script that was believed to be Bilali's. And they did some research on it. They went to a number of different African individuals. They took it to Nigeria, up in the area of Kano, the city of Kano, to some Hausa Muslims, and had them look at it. But those scholars were unable to make sense out of the writing and declared it to be a work of jinns or spirits. Dr. Greenberg later deduced that the writer had confused some of the consonants, and when certain consonants were corrected, there emerged the name Muhammad bin, meaning son of Abdullah bin Yusuf bin Ubaid. Despite a questionable sequence in the genealogy, Dr. Greenberg surmised that the name intended was Abu Muhammad Abdullah bin Abi Zaid al-Qarawani, a native of Qarawan in North Africa and author of a well-known legal work called the Risala. So this brother was actually a legal expert. And they went and they got a handwritten copy of the Risala and compared it to his 13-page document and realized the very same person had written both documents because large portion, basically, the document that he wrote here from memory was referring back to this other document that he had written previously called the Risala. So he was actually, the whole document, you know, all throughout there were references back to this other document. So all that to say, our roots run deep. We need to know who our ancestors are. We need to write down our story because we've already heard his story, and his story is definitely not our story. So when I say our story, I don't mean our in the general sense story. I mean your story, my story. My children need to write their stories. I keep encouraging my oldest daughter to write down her story. She has a miraculous story of redemption, perseverance, and didactics. I guess it's autodidactics. I never used that word that way. So amazing stories though. So we need to write down our stories. We know our story better than anybody else's story. And at some point in the future, it may be our story that somebody is reading 100 or 200 years later, that they are deciphering and figuring out and referring it back to another document that they got from somewhere else. Everybody's story is important, not just mine, not just his, but yours too. So those are the words I'm dropping on you. Word for today: if you're a black man, then you're an African. Okay, I'm through with that people of color stuff. Y'all need to think about that. Ain't nobody talking about it, but I will. So I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I'll see you later. We'll be back here again at 9. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below. If you're seeing us on Facebook, make sure to give us a like, give us a share, show that you care, do what you need to do. Don't just sit there starting to stare. All right? Peace out now.